so exciting. It is so exciting to hear singers do that. I want to hear it one more time. Such a dork. Hi there and welcome. My name is Charlie Calotta. I'm a professional opera singer and I'm working right now on a production of Così fan tutte, and I finished up rehearsal earlier and got back in time to make a few of these reaction commentary videos. This particular clip is from a live stream I did the other day of the entire Epica Omega Alive concert, and I talked to some of the viewers and we talked about making some analysis videos for this concert. So this is going to be a replay of part of that live stream, and then I'm going to pause and talk about some of the vocals as a voice teacher and opera singer and my perspective on this performance, where the two key vocalists are Simone Simons and Mark Janssen. In this particular video, I think it is incredibly important because it is maybe one of my favorite symphonic metal recordings, even though there's only one instrument being used, and that is the human voice. A cappella music is vastly ranging in style, vastly ranging in the types of music that is performed, but there's something so special about how this particular a cappella performance of Rivers is produced, in that it uses 16 voices and one amazing soloist, and we're just going to jump right into it and give it a listen and talk about it. May thy kingdom come. I talk too much. We'll talk on the YouTube channel. Let's just enjoy this. That's what we're doing right now. It's Rivers, right? One shot video, I love it. Before we go anywhere, 16 voices creating an amazing sound. If you don't know what the word a cappella means, two words technically, a cappella means of the church, a reflection of early church music when the voice was the only instrument used. And what we're getting here is bass, alto, tenor, soprano. Not in that order. Bass, tenor, alto, soprano. I've been doing a lot of singing today. So the basses are holding down that lower frequency, that main harmony. And what we have in the beginning of this riff, and it's going to be a repeated riff, a repeated segment that allows Simone to glide over it with the full melody of the song. But the sopranos are singing that melody in above it. And then we have the tenors making a counterpoint and the altos also kind of holding it down. So we have these two lower parts for the female and the male voice, and then the tenors are doing a counterpoint to the main melody that the sopranos are singing. And I love this because you don't get that much clarity in a studio recording or even like a live recording of this. When it's done a cappella, there's so much specificity that you can hear in this one singular palette. So let's continue and hear what Our Lady does. Unison. Yeah. To maintain that sweetness and delicacy in the tone when she goes up right above her passaggio, you can see that she's kind of grinning a little bit. She's lifting the soft palate in a way that allows her to keep the tone small, but it's different from her other operatic singing. Normally she could bloom up into much higher notes with a much bigger, more resonant sound, but there's such an intimacy in the way she's performing this that it's almost like instead of opening the soft palette like this, she's opening the soft palette just like this to cover and to protect the voice, to maintain that softness. And it's such a delicate, gentle sound that she's creating, even though she's going into that part of her voice that's capable of so much power. It's so special. I'm just going to go back so we don't have to like chop this thing up a little bit. But when you hear this unison choir under her and then her piercing vocal, it's gentle but piercing. And that's a result of maintaining that resonance and using the soft palette instead of pushing the sound out. Again, she's truly a master at this kind of singing. There are very few singers, especially in symphonic metal, who can do that gentle singing so well. Sharon comes to mind, obviously, and Floor is capable of pretty much everything, but those are three titans in this field. So anyway, let's just keep watching. A lot of teeth, a lot of brightness. Keep that mask open. Show those teeth, the teeth resonate and help clear the sound. Now she lets it out. Voices. Now, there's a concept in classical singing that some adhere to in a technical way. I will adhere to this when it comes to it. If you want to sing with a big, warm, resonant sound, you have to give yourself jaw space. Now, I don't really like thinking about the jaw in terms of singing because it can get in the way, especially when I'm teaching. I don't mention the jaw. But the reality is, and you can see this, she's the perfect example of this. When this jaw space is given and she opens the jaw, she has that same soft palate lift as earlier, but the sound is so much broader and more belting is not the term. It's a warm, huge sound. It's so much louder because she gives that jaw space in addition to that soft palate lift. But if you noticed as earlier, she kept the jaw closed and just showed her teeth and still had that lift in the soft palate that created the color as we went up into that range. But when she opens up, opening that jaw creates a bigger resonant cavity that she's able to make more sound in. Now, this is like true vocal nerd stuff. If you didn't want this, I'm sorry if you clicked on this video. Go to the live stream and just watch it with, me talking like this dude, this guy, just me talking like him, but and watching the whole thing through. But for the purpose of really getting to the nitty gritty about what she's capable of, it's so fascinating as someone interested in the voice, watching a true master executing these techniques and using these principles to create such a broad texture of sound. We have 16 voices behind her that are all making sort of a similar kind of very open, very traditional a cappella sound, a very church-like yet full sound. This is indicative of like Robert Shaw's style choral music, where all of the singers sing with their full voice. It's not that traditional like college a cappella or there's a ton of like commercial a cappella groups that sing with a very thin sound, very highly produced. This is the full natural human voice, 16 of them making a very similar blended sound. They're all listening to each other. And then there's Simone Simons and her crystalline clarity and her power sticking out on the inside. Not to mention she's using what looks like a Neumann U87 or 88. I'm not a huge microphone guy, but I do know a little bit about that. And that does help bring some of the clarity into the mix, when I assume the rest of them are using room mics or area mics. But again, this is so good. This is such a timeless piece of music. The way it's being presented here, the orchestration of 17 voices, wonderful. Let's get back into that. Is that a U87? Stupid. If you want to get really pedantic, we can talk about her tongue position. And when she does a closed vowel like a U, an oo, or an a like an eh or an e, the tongue comes forward. And you can see it a little bit on her bottom teeth, where it comes got a, e, and it frees up the space for her to make the sound. Now, this timbre she's using here is kind of in the middle ground. She's letting her jaw, the jaw's always flexible, right? But she's showing us she's still doing that soft. She doesn't want her high notes to stick out. Scientifically, high notes are always going to be more louder and more resonant than other things. It's a faster vibration. It's going to travel a little bit further. It's going to carry more overtones with it. But she's able to maintain the overtones while not pushing the volume when she just keeps that mouth closed as she goes up, but keeps it open and relaxed on the bottom to not get too tight, to allow her the flexibility to continue. And then the tongue being flexible and having a very specific place for each vowel. This is great singing. This is just really great singing, honestly. Just fucking masterful singing. So cool to see.
The eye shows no reflection, no dreams without inception, exist within oceans of time, break loose from the chains, rise above the waves, fighting in the darkness, dancing in the light, break out of your cage, turn another page, drowning in the river, swim against the tide of life.
I mean, so Nati down in the Twitch chat here, I don't know if you can read it, but she sent a message saying, I appreciate her articulation while hitting those high notes. Not an easy thing to do, and absolutely not an easy thing to do. Every vowel, and it is intuitive for her at this point, right? But every vowel and every tone at every dynamic has a different configuration. And singing requires you to internalize that positioning and let it go and turn what is a text and a pitch into a very complex configuration of the larynx, of the articulators, of the entire vocal tract, which is from, you know, your larynx all the way to your lips. That entire space is manipulable, malleable, and able to create a different tone. And everything is so specific. And it is not an easy thing to do. It's incredibly advanced. I love it. This isn't pentatonics, right? This is not the pentatonics. This is full-voiced, incredibly talented choral singers, all singing next to each other, not relying on microphones.
The coil in which we're living is no more than a prison. The scheme of life became deranged. Dark clouds with silver lining attain the mysteries of shadow and shine. Break loose from the chains, rise above the waves, fighting in the darkness, dancing in the light. Break out of your cage,
Yes.
turn another page, drowning in the river, swim against the tide of
Impeccable. I don't care what that guy has to say. Let's go back. There's this moment. It almost sounds like she's like crying. She's sobbing. And there's one specific instant in her singing that brings this out for me. I'm going to pinpoint it right here. So powerful. Such a powerful stage presence.
break out of your cage, turn another page, drowning in the river, swim against the tide.
Okay, I skipped it. I just wanted to listen to that again. Here it is.
Of the waves, fighting in the
Sorry.
darkness, dancing in the light, break out of your
Right there, when she says break out, and you hear this, what some would assume to be a vocal crack. However, there's a big misconception about vocal cracks in general. There are three kinds of vocal cracks. One is because the voice is undersupported. Another one is because the voice is too tense. And the third one is more of a stylistic usage of the mechanism that causes the voice to crack between registers. And when she goes ka ka ka, you can crack it like crack. That, I mean, it's ugly coming from me. I'm just trying to demonstrate though. When she does break out, it means she's singing through with too much pressure, but the crack doesn't take her to an inappropriate pitch. She cracks right into a regular tone that's the right pitch for where she's at in the melody, etc. You know how good singing works. You know how good music works, I should say. But it's incredibly virtuosic. It's like yodeling in a way. It's cracking with intention on the pitch you're going to. And this happens when singers get emotional. This is not often a choice that's made. It's when singers, this is the sign when I'm listening to a singer, when I go to an opera and I'm listening to someone and someone does this, I'm like, wow, they're really feeling it right now. They're into it. And it's nothing, people will never do this intentionally, honestly, but it's something that when you know a singer is feeling it, when a singer is in their zone, when they're performing, that's when these things come out. And that's what's so impressive about live performances. And albeit this is produced, but the liveness of it, the one take of it, right there at the end of what, a 7-minute live take, they're not going to redo it. And this is going to be all a one take. So she's really feeling it and she's owning it and she's expressing it. Rivers is such a good song anyway. There's another reaction on this channel to the other version of it, but let's just hear that again and okay. Listen for breakout. Breakout. So exciting. It is so exciting to hear singers do that. I want to hear it one more time. Such a dork. It's such a power stance. Everyone in chat is crying and has goosebumps, and I am feeling it too. Oh my God, it's 16 so voices, one amazing God tier singer. We've already done a reaction to Once Upon a Nightmare, so check that out if you want to. Rivers is probably one of my favorite songs that I've discovered through making content, and hearing this the other day for the first time was absolutely incredible. And you know, if you want to listen to really good a cappella music like this, and I'm not talking like pentatonics, there's a group called Roomful of Teeth, and they're all incredibly talented, classically trained singers who sing in probably, 12 different styles. They do throat singing, they do full operatic singing, they do belting, they do everything, overtone singing, so much different stuff. And they're incredible. They're pushing the boundaries of a cappella music. And if you want to listen to some really complex but amazing voices do a cappella just like this, but in an even more kind of progressive experimental way, check out Roomful of Teeth. Yeah, would recommend. There will be more analyses of this concert, of this live stream. There's a few more that I'm going to do, so check those out. And I'm really excited to experience Symphonic Synergy, which is Epica's live stream, going up tomorrow for me right now. I don't know when this is going to be published, but look forward to that analysis as well. And if you have any other recommendations of full-length symphonic metal concerts, I can live stream those and we can enjoy them together, and then we can do some more analyses here on the channel. Just comment down below any suggestions you have. That's how I'm picking all of my suggestions right now for the way this content is going. And I'm just really excited to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this, let me know as well. Anyway, thank you guys, and I will see you in the next video.